Well, good evening to you. Great thanks for joining us. Welcome to Sunday Express. It's clear now that the agenda of the upcoming election, which is a month away, will be the costs of living. The Catholic bishops, Azimio, Kenya Kwanza. The agenda today has been the high cost of living. Unga is at 250 shillings.
Indeed, I like how this is shifting. The focus is now not on personalities, but actually on the issues affecting Kenyans. We got an interesting bulletin lined up for you that will be taking you way down into the campaign trail. Plus, a great conversation we are focusing on tonight. A little bit later on, I'll be having a sit down with Rahab Mwikali Mwiu. She's the national chairperson of Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization. Just taking stock of 70 years since the organization was established. What are the gains and also what are her insights into the journey of women and leadership? That conversation coming later on in the bulletin.
The first things first, here are the highlights.
King of the Safari Rally, Finnish driver Kalle Rovanperä seals maiden Kenyan win to claim his fourth FIA World Rally Championship victory. A weekend of campaigns as Azimio pitch tent in Wajir, Kenya Kwanza traverses Kilifi and Roots Party tours Kakamega County.
The national government to move with speed to lower the prices of basic commodities like maize flour, maize and beans, cooking fat, kerosene, so that families can afford to meet their basic needs.
Tame the high cost of living. Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops tell the government. Find out how macadamia nuts are packaged for export.
Once again, a very good evening and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Serfine Achieng. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Ann Wangeshi.
And my name is John Jacob Kioria. Welcome to the broadcast. The Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops wants the government to move with speed and address the rising cost of living that has seen prices of basic commodities, or rather the prices be more than double.
Archbishop Philip Anyolo of the Nairobi Archdiocese says life is increasingly becoming unbearable for many Kenyans and the government ought to break the silence.
At the same time, the church has challenged those seeking elective positions in the upcoming general election to offer solutions to the issues affecting Kenyans.
Empty pockets, empty stomach. These seem to be the cries of many Kenyans. The situation compounded by the rising cost of living that has forced many Kenyans to dig deep into their pockets to meet their basic needs.
Chakula kila mahali imepanda. Ukiangalia bei ya unga kwa saizi imefika shilingi 250 kwingine 230 na hii ina affect kila mtu.
Those in authority to try to leverage and try to reduce the cost of living down. Kwa waheshimiwa hata waangalie pande yetu. Sasa ni mtu unampeleka pale bunge, lakini mahali anaenda kukaa huko hawezi shughulika na maisha ya binadamu.
The church adding its voice with the Catholic bishop saying the government should break its silence on the matter.
The increase in the price of the most basic foods and items is hiked to almost double, and yet the government and most of the political aspirants are silent about it. We need to hear solutions and how the new leaders will cushion the poor in this economic crisis.
Archbishop Philip Anyolo of Nairobi Archdiocese, who read a statement by the Catholic bishops during a Sunday Mass, called for urgent interventions to lighten the burden on many Kenyans.
We urge the national government to move with speed to lower the prices of basic commodities like maize flour, maize and beans, cooking fat, kerosene, so that families can afford to meet their basic needs.
The clergy say politicians seeking elective posts have politicized the matter on the hiked price of basic commodities, giving empty promises instead of offering solutions.
We are fed with this false and empty hope that never comes to be a reality. Kenyans need an urgent intervention from the county and the national governments now.
The church has, however, called for peaceful elections, urging the electorate to be wise and elect leaders who will propel development. Kamche Menza for Sunday Express.
From the say of a church to what politicians are saying, and Deputy President William Ruto has said that if elected president, his government will do everything possible to revamp the economy and create more jobs to enable business, or rather enable business-friendly, make a business-friendly environment. The Kenya Kwanza captain and presidential flag bearer, who was in the region for the third day drumming up support for the bottom-up economic model, saying it is the only system which can ensure equity for all Kenyans. Ruto pledged to lower the cost of living if he succeeds President Uhuru Kenyatta.
The Kenya Kwanza Brigade has pitched camp in the coast for the third day running to popularize its bottom-up economic model. Deputy President William Ruto, who is the Alliance presidential flag bearer, pledged to lower the cost of living if the Alliance takes over the next government. Ruto reassured the locals that he will reverse the current status quo the residents are grappling with.
Ndugu zangu watu wa Kilifi, mwaka huu mkubali tuunde serikali ambayo tumekubaliana tutapunguza gharama ya mbolea kutoka shilingi 6,000 mpaka shilingi 2,500. Tupunguze gharama ya mbegu, tuondoe brokers, tuondoe cartels, ili chakula ifike sokoni ikiwa bei nafuu, kila Mkenya aweze kulisha familia yake, na tuondoe aibu ya njaa katika taifa letu la Kenya.
Calls to reverse port operations from Nairobi and Naivasha to Mombasa, Lamu and Kwale counties dominated the campaigns.
Sisi viongozi wenu tumeketi na Mheshimiwa Ruto na tumekubaliana shughuli zote za bandari kuanzia tarehe 10 mwezi wa 8 Mheshimiwa Ruto atahakikisha zimerudi hapa Mombasa.
Sisi tumechora mpangilio na William Ruto. Vipi mimi, Aisha Jumwa, Achani na wengine katika pwani tutaweza kuwa na kitu inaitwa Economic Marshall Plan ya Coast Region. Katika siku za kwanza za William Ruto, sisi tutaangazia masala ya kiuchumi.
Hivi ndivyo tutakavyotoka na zaidi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 kupiga kura ya Kenya Kwanza na Rais William Samoei Ruto, ili tukaweze kujikomboa kama wana Kilifi na wana Kenya.
Our dignity has been ruined. Our dignity has been ruptured. Na ni lazima sasa tarehe 9 tubadilishe. Na mimi nawaambia mabadiliko yatatokea kwa William Samoei Ruto.
Earlier, Ruto attended a church service at Pifa Church in Mariakani, Mombasa County.
Now shifting to Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition, the presidential candidate Raila Odinga says he will reopen the Kenya-Somalia border if elected president to allow unfettered trade between the two countries. Raila, who was campaigning in Wajir County, further pledged to invest in manufacturing industry, which he says will greatly improve Kenya's economic fortunes and the welfare of her people.
It was Raila Odinga's second day in northern Kenya, this time holding a series of rallies in Wajir County. To stabilize the commodity prices in the country, Raila pledged to reopen the Kenya-Somalia border to allow for cross-border trade that has largely been affected by the closure that has lasted for years.
Tumesema tutafungua mpaka kati ya Kenya na Somalia ili tuwe tunaweza kupata sukari hata mchele kutoka ngambo hili kuja pande hii kwa njia sawa sawa.
imefika wakati, in my view, tuanze kufanya positive little steps. Na step moja ni kufungua mpaka vile Junet amesema.
Raila pledged to establish manufacturing industries across the country to allow for more production of Kenyan goods, which would in turn improve the country's economic fortunes.
Kila county tutaweka viwanda. Hiyo viwanda itasaidia vijana kupata kazi na kina mama. Kama hapa tutaleta kichinjio hapo Wajia, pale ambaye ng'ombe na mbuzi zinaenda pale, zinachinjwa pale, nyama inapelekwa ng'ambo, tunapeleka ng'ambo ili tupata pesa huku vizuri.
The Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition presidential flag bearer called for peaceful coexistence among communities living in the area, while pledging that Azimio will involve communities and marginalized groups in its governance.
Kwa mimi nataka nyinyi mkubali kupiga kura kwa Azimio la Umoja. Sisi baba na mama ndio wanatuko katika tikiti ya Azimio. Na utaona pale alama ya Azimio ni nyota 5.
Mimi ni mama wa vijana. Tukiwa hapo na Raila Amolo Odinga, mimi kama mama yako nitakuwa namkumbusha kila siku mambo ya kuinua vijana wetu ndivyo wapate matumaini.
Yule mtu ambaye atabadilisha maisha yenu, ambaye ataboresha elimu, atalete maji safi, atalete afya bora, sio yule mwingine, lakini ni baba Raila Amolo Odinga.
Area leaders called on Raila to ensure the allocation of more constituencies to the Northern Kenya region if elected president. And now, the Roots Party presidential candidate Professor George Wajakoya now says if elected to power in the August polls, he will positively overhaul the country's economic status within 100 days. Professor Wajakoya, who took his presidential campaigns to Western Kenya, maintains that the country has what it takes to be the economic powerhouse in Africa. Speaking in Kakamega, the Roots Party presidential candidate said his policy will be Kenyans first and promised to jail those who have plundered the country's wealth for their own selfish gains.
Constitution tuna change hiyo, tutakuja kuuliza wananchi ni vipengele gani tunataka waondoe. Kipengele kile nitaambia wananchi waoke ya kwanza ni kwamba Waislamu watakuwa na holiday yao siku ya Ijumaa. Waislamu oye! Waislamu Waislamu Seventh Day Adventists mtaendelea hivyo hivyo on Saturday. Wakristo wengine mtaendelea hivyo hivyo on Sunday. Alafu mrasta atakuwa na holiday every day.
Unajua wazee na wana nyundo mko wengi hapa. Asubuhi bibi aliitisha pesa asubuhi. Anakuambia mafuta imepanda bei. Anakuambia unga imepanda bei. Wamama inakuwa vita, si ndio? Mabwana anasema tunakula pesa yao. Na ni uchumi mbaya. Kwa hivyo tuangalie wewe kama mwananchi wa kawaida, unaumia aje? Kubali maneno ya Roots Party na Wajakoya, sino tunawahurumia, sino tuko na njia, tuko na solution.
Away from politics, Kale Rwanpera charged to his fourth FIA World Rally Championship victory in 6 rounds at Safari Rally Kenya on Sunday as Toyota Gazoo racing team locked out the top 4 places. Only 6 of the 12 WRC Rally 1 cars completed the full rally distance in what proved to be the toughest event of the season by far. President Uhuru Kenyatta congratulated all the drivers who competed in the rally, mentioning Kenyan Maxine Wahome, who won her maiden WRC 3 title.
Many will see this. It is an event that is in our blood. But let me also remind you that it is not an event that is in our blood because of our history. But it is also an event that also impacts us economically and positions us globally. An event like this is not just about the drivers and their crews. It is also an event about every single person who is a participant.
Kioria Novel won the Wolf Power stage to claim 5 bonus points in an I-20N. 9-time world champion Sebastian Loeb scored 4 in second in a Ford Puma, with Ogier taking 3 in third. Goose Greensmith secured 2 points in fourth in another Puma, with teammate Adrian Formox netting 1. Sardinia Rally winner Ot Tanak ran as high as fourth before a transmission issue on Saturday, and a power steering failure forced him out of the Safari Rally Kenya. The best Kenyan was Aman Singh Rai in position 12, while Maxine Wahome finished 15th.
I want to congratulate our very own Maxine Wahome. You have proved that the world of motorsport is not the world of men, but the world of humankind. We congratulate you as a winner.
These extra feelings that I'm now carrying from this event is that Kenya is actually the best organizer for a safari rally at the stage of the WRC. What we have seen so far is a country that breathes, that lives this safari.
Let me go straight to appreciate the WRC promoter and his team for allowing us to work seamlessly to deliver a world-class safari rally. This weekend has actually defined what the safari rally is. It is both the toughest rally in the world and it is the great Kenyan experience in Africa.
Your Excellency, thank you for all the support you've given us over the years. Thank you for bringing the Safari Rally back. Amaje? Tunafurahi tele sana.
Barclay Feather, Sunday Express.
Some sad news here that is also shocking. Alcohol abuse is reported to have increased at an alarming rate among teenagers aged 15 to 17. According to the National Authority for Campaign Against Drug Abuse, NACADA, alcohol and miraa are the most abused drugs among teenagers in Kenya. NACADA has in the meantime announced a crackdown on illegal rehabilitation centers purporting to offer counseling services to drug addicts.
Kenya joined the global community in marking the International Day Against Drug Abuse. And the National Campaign Against Drug Abuse, NACADA, led Kenyans in celebrating the day at the University of Nairobi grounds. But the revelations on the stage of drug abuse among the youth in the country was alarming, with teenagers between the ages of 15 and 17 leading the pack.
When you're looking at the status in our school programs, in current use for primary school, we've also been able to do studies in primary schools. You can see our students in primary are taking alcohol, tobacco, miraa, and even cannabis.
I therefore invite you to partner with us in reaching out to all the society. We are open to work with all like-minded institutions and individuals towards the realization of a society free from alcohol and drug abuse.
According to NACADA, Kenya is also reported to have an increase in the use of marijuana edibles, as the government maintains the use and sale of the substance remains illegal.
Seeing now an emerging trend in the use of cannabis edibles. You know, in the earlier days, I think cannabis was just restricted towards, smoking. But now we are seeing now confectionaries, the industry around confectionaries. I think we are seeing now more and more demand for edibles. For example, the wheat cookies are very common. Also, the mabuyu are now actually being being laced with cannabis, and also even sweets, which are actually made of cannabis. So I think we are seeing, and some of these products are very, very common with our young children.
These, as the government want that unstandardized and illegal rehabilitation centers risk closure.
Kenya, I want to say categorically, it is illegal. Until such a time when Kenyans themselves, because
It is in the Constitution of Kenya. Amending the Constitution requires the Kenyan public to say that they would like to amend that clause. So until such time, marijuana is illegal, and we want to discourage such discussion because we are now trying to promote drug abuse.
In Mombasa, Nakada Regional Manager John Karisa says at least 13,000 addicts are heroin drug users in Mombasa County, sounding an alarm that the vice was on the increase.
It has really contributed to some of our children engaging into alcohol and drug abuse. Kwa sababu tumewaachia paka wanaanza kama sisi wazazi tunatakana tuwe na mwelekeo, tuonyeshe mwelekeo mzuri kwa watoto, hatuonyeshi. Tuko na wazazi ambao wanatumia vileo mbele ya watoto. Sasa wale wanaona kwa hivyo basi hata mimi wacha nijaribu kwa sababu hata mzazi wangu anatumia.
Kali imechukua hatua kubwa sana. Imeweza kupeana NYS project yote kubadilishwa iwe rehabilitation. Hii ni mara ya kwanza Kenya mzima kuwa kutakuwa na model ambao ni ya kiserikali ambao inaongozwa na serikali.
Frederick Muki for Sunday Express.
Time for us to take our first breather on Sunday Express, but of course when we come back,
a lot is lined up for you, of course, part of sports, but remember later on we'll also be having that interview with Miss Rahab Mwikali Mwiu, the national chairperson of the Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization, as we look at women and leadership, the gains and what needs to be done going forward. That interview coming your way. Don't go too far. We take that break now.
Every day, over 15 million members are transforming Africa. Empowered to learn, to create, to grow, to harvest, to lead, to dream. Equity. Karibu member.
The Postal Corporation of Kenya Staff Pension Scheme and Staff Retirement Benefit Scheme will be holding its annual general meeting on 30th June 2022 at the Hilton Hotel Ballroom from 9:30 a.m. The event will be live on KBC Channel 1. Postal Corporation of Kenya Staff Pension Scheme. My pension, my comfort.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the civil society organizations under the Uchaguzi platform have faulted the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission for scrapping the use of the manual voter register at polling stations. The organizations want IEBC to reconsider the decision and ensure all its systems work. They are also concerned over IEBC's clearance of some candidates with integrity issues and want the Elections Act of 2011 amended to include a vetting framework with a checklist for use by the electoral body in the future.
With slightly over 40 days to the August 9th general election, civil society organizations under the banner of Uchaguzi platform have weighed in on the country's preparedness. The organizations want the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to reconsider its decision to scrap the use of the manual voter register at polling stations.
We further call upon the Commission in the next simulation exercise to ensure that all systems work so as to inspire confidence in the processes, particularly on the electronic transmission of results.
The organizations are also concerned over voter education and want the government to facilitate IEBC to reach all Kenyans.
For the remaining period before the elections, the resources required should be channeled to voter education through media and specifically radio stations due to their wide network and deep grassroots reach.
Politicians are more active in the public spaces with their agenda than the streamlined voter education that is targeting the voter.
This as they faulted IEBC for clearing individuals who are in breach of Chapter 6 of the Constitution on integrity.
Out of the 214 individuals blacklisted by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission as morally and ethically unfit to hold public office, IEBC barred only 6 candidates who had been convicted without appeals, those who had been impeached from office, those without the required academic qualifications.
The civil society groups have also called for peaceful campaigns and urged members of the public to desist from propagating and sharing unverified information, especially on social media. Nancy Okware, Sunday Express.
All right, now mainly grown for foreign exchange earnings and income generation by smallholder farmers, macadamia nut farming is mostly found in eastern and central parts of Kenya, such as Meru, Murang'a, Kiambu, Nyeri and Kirinyaga counties and some areas of the western region. This week on The Process, Jackie Wambiru helps us take a close look at macadamia nut processing.
Globally, macadamia nut accounts for 1% of the nut tree production, with Kenya producing 13% of the world's macadamia nut production. At the River Machakos County at the export processing zone, wet macadamia nuts are received from the fields. On arrival, the macadamia nuts are first weighed at the weighing bridge and manually screened for dust, any foreign matter, moldy nuts, undersized nuts, which are then removed.
By manual screening, I mean we use 18mm mesh where we pour the nuts from the gunny bags. Then we use personnel to sort the in-shell nuts. Here we remove the undersize, we remove dust, we remove any foreign matter, and any moldy nuts, we remove it at this point.
From the weighing bridge, the nuts are then transported to the factory where they are loaded into the dryer for cold blowing for 4 to 5 days using environmental air under temperatures of 35 to 40 degrees Celsius to achieve a target moisture of 10% or below. The nuts are then offloaded from the dryer for washing in chlorinated water. The nuts are then loaded on the dryer for final drying at 48 to 50 degrees Celsius to achieve a target moisture of less than 2% or below.
Not really hot but warm air blowing of 35 to 40 degrees. Here, our target moisture is 10%, whereby now we offload the nuts for washing. Washing, we use chlorinated water, whereby we wash these nuts, then we load them to dryers again for final drying.
After the right moisture levels are achieved, the dried nuts are then offloaded from the dryer to the cracking section.
To why you can see them in plastic bags is because they have already attained a moisture where there is no more mold growth. So the nuts cannot deteriorate from at that point.
Stored in plastic bags, the nuts are then offloaded to the sizing grader, which ensures the sizing of nuts to desired sizes is achieved to ensure efficiency of the cracker.
The sizing grader sizes the nuts into different sizes for efficiency of the cracking. That is to ensure once the nuts are put in the cracker, all the nuts get cracked, or else the minimal which are uncracked are very few.
At the cracking session, the nuts are passed through the pneumatic shell separator.
That is the one which accommodates the particles and the small shells and the particles of the kernel itself. That's why it passes through there, so that it gets separated, so that at the final point, those particles are not present.
Dressed in blue dust coats, in-shell sorters then separate the kernel from shells. It is then that the kernel sorters adorned in white dust coats remove any immature, discolored, damaged or foreign matter. Immediately after the nuts go through the kernel sorters, final inspectors then check for any foreign matter and ensure the kernels are of good quality before grading. At the kernel grading section, sizing of the kernel into various styles takes place, with the 0 being the biggest all the way to style 6, which is the smallest.
The bigger nuts, we call them style 1 to style 0. We come to style 1. We have style 2, which is a blend of the style 1 and 4L. Then we have the style 4S, 1S, that up to the smallest size, which is style 6.
The kernels then go through the metal detector, which checks for any metal fragments in the product.
Metal detection part is for detection of any metal fragments in the product. Here we use 3 test pieces. We have got ferrous test piece, we have got non-ferrous test piece, and we have got stainless steel test piece. After they have passed through the metal detector and they have been accepted by the metal detector,
vacuum packing then takes place, where accepted nuts are weighed into aluminium pouches of 11.34 kilograms. Here, white spot nitrogen gas is then splashed onto the nuts.
We package in aluminium pouches is because the aluminium pouches have been completely tested to ensure that there are no pinholes. So we are quite sure when we pack our product in the aluminium pouches, our product is not likely to lose vacuum.
The vacuum packer is connected to the nitrogen cylinder. Vacuum pouches are then held overnight to check for any loose vacuum.
The ply, being it 5, it ensures that the pouch inside is safe. It won't get damaged on the way as it is on shipment.
Once it is confirmed of the absence of loose vacuum, the pouches are then put into secondary packaging in a corrugated 5-ply carton and sealed, ready for export.
Our customers comprise of China, US, UK, Canada.
Reporting for The Process, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Our arts and entertainment industry has evolved over the years.
It is at such times that our destinies are written. Will we rise up in courage or die in cowardice?
Who are the movers and shakers in film and theatre? Get trendy as we review locally produced films and stage drama every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Cinemas and Theatre.
Brought to you by the Kenya Film Commission. Film Kenya. Capture Africa.
I had the intuition. I knew that I shouldn't have left her alone with Adriano over in that event. No!
Honestly, I'm not here because Cello let me know about your situation, but because Paulina's daughter has been born. What?
I can't believe you're doing this to me, Jaime. Please, I beg you, we're just starting and you're the expert here.
It's not actually because of you, but because of me. I never want to see him again. Are you serious?
Welcome back to Sunday Express. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, Kenya Defence Forces KDF men's volleyball team kept alive its hopes of playing in the playoffs after trouncing Vihiga County in 3 straight sets during the Kenya Volleyball Federation Men's National League match played on Sunday at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi. This and other stories, including handball and basketball results, in the wrap up next.
KDF won by 3 sets to nil of 29-27, 25-21, 25-12 against Vihiga County to stay in contention for a place in the playoffs. 4 teams will earn slots in the playoff round where the winner will be decided.
It's now actually a very good expression of how the men's national team played in Rwanda earlier on in the year in January, and they played very well during the African Cup of Nations. And we have new players, we have new teams coming up, and every team is putting their best foot forward. The standards have been very high, and it's a very good indicator for Kenyan volleyball, especially for the future of the national team, the Wafalme Stars.
GSU are the defending champions, having not relinquished the championship since 2017. KDF head coach Elisha Liwa said he is optimistic that his side will sail through with 2 fixtures to go. KDF is scheduled to play Mombasa Prisons and Rift Valley Prisons.
There are around 3 teams. We are competing for that top 4. So the issue is, for me, I lost a game that I should have won against Trailblazers. So I'm now depending on Kenya Forest to beat Trailblazers so that I can be back to the top 4. But I must first of all win all the remaining 2 matches.
Elsewhere, former champions Black Mamba recorded their 3rd straight win after beating JKUAT 34-12 in a men's handball league match played at Nyayo National Stadium. Morgan Juma and Martin Nguli top scored for Black Mamba with 6 goals apiece, while Lewis Maraga scored 4 goals for JKUAT.
Our second match was against NCC. We won yesterday. Today we've played against JKUAT. We've also won. That shows that whatever we are doing at our practice place is making sense, and it's giving the boys encouragement each and every day. And we are planning this season, we are going to take the league.
In other men's league results, Strathmore, who are league hopefuls, narrowly beat Buccaneers 2018. Maxwell Munene and Brian Murangosi scored for the students 4 goals each, while GSU registered a convincing 41-20 win against Young City.
Thank you, Okumu, for that report. Moving on, FYA Muma All-Stars beat Melta Kebiria FC 3-1 to win the FYA Muma friendly match played on Sunday at Ruthimitu Mixed Secondary School in Dagoretti South. Dennis Nganga, Francis Matekwa and Shakur Ali scored a goal apiece, while Sami Agesa scored the consolation for Melta. The win handed the victors 50,000 Kenya shillings pass, while Melta received 30,000 Kenya shillings. The tournament, which was organized as a follow-up to last year's FYA Muma Super Cup, was geared to helping tap soccer talent as well as provide the missing link in turning sports to a vibrant industry that can employ hundreds of youths.
I'm also vying for the Member of Parliament seat for Dagoretti South, and most importantly, one of the key agendas in my manifesto is sports, and the need for us to realize how much we can be able to create a nexus between the sports and the young people, for us to create employment, and also once we create employment through sports by discovering talent, by also creating more opportunities for them so that they can be able to be, to be able to take care of themselves and to be able to be financially dependable, then that will also create more opportunities and job opportunities for other people through sports, through talent and arts.
Umoja Swimming Sharks is targeting to attract more swimmers in efforts to show up the numbers at the swim club established and run by the public at Umoja 1 Primary School in Nairobi. The club currently has a total of 50 swimmers who have competed in various championships in Nairobi and are eager to become successful in the pool.
Kila nikienda competition, kila nikienda mashindano, napata kurudi na goal moja au mbili au tatu au nne. So hii imenipatia motisha.
Nataka kufika juu, nikuwe ule mwenye niko special. Yani naweza nikiwa mkubwa nikwange tu najua kuswim. Nianze kufunza watu kuswim.
Lakini tuko na opportunity hapa swimming. So mimi naweza sema wale wenye wako interested kujoin our team, tuko open, tunapatikana Umoja Sharks, Umoja Primary School, at Umoja 1.
Za trainer watoto. It is a passion niko nayo na napenda sana kuona watoto wakitrain wakiwa wanaendelea hivi wanaendelea, and I believe in a few years to come mmoja wao ndio atakuwa Danford wa Kenya.
The passion the kids have. This kid would come from school, aone amechelewa. The kid wouldn't go to the house. Afadhali akuje kuvalia. They go with their costumes to school. Ndio asichelewe masaa ya training. So when you see that kid that dedicated, it gives you the morale of you wanting to train this kid to perfect this kid. So that when you see the kid shine, you also feel satisfied.
And finally, Cristiano Ronaldo is not for sale, and Manchester United expect him to remain at Old Trafford despite reports linking the Portuguese star with a sensational move to Chelsea. Ronaldo ended last season as the club's top scorer with 24 goals in 38 games.
Well, this is his stage once more. Fantastic atmosphere. 12 years and 118 days since his last United appearance. Ronaldo plays for the Reds again.
Season, but Ronaldo pledged his loyalty to the club earlier this month. He will be 38 years old when his United contract runs out next summer. Meanwhile, Wales captain Gareth Bale has agreed to join MLS side Los Angeles FC on a free transfer. The 32-year-old is currently a free agent, having left Real Madrid after 9 years in Spain. The 5-time Champions League winner had been linked with a return to Tottenham Hotspurs as well as a move to home city club Cardiff. The signing of Bale, who joined Real Madrid in 2013, is set to follow Los Angeles' move for Italy defender Giorgio Chiellini earlier this month.
And Barclays report brings us to the end of the sports news tonight. Have yourself a peaceful night. My name is Karen Kibet. I hand you back to Serfine and Kioria for more.
All right. Time for us to put a cap, but not really put a cap because we have an interview upcoming tonight.
Yeah, tonight I had a sit down with the national chairperson of the Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization, Rahab Mwekali Mwiu. Among the issues we discussed include how the organization has played its role in empowering women, a role that it has played for 70 years plus and counting, but not without challenges, which she also mentioned, and efforts they have sustained in just pushing for women to be part and parcel of the leadership and governance in this country.
All right.
And many more that we leave you to now follow in this interview that we had with her. But for us, up to there, it's a good night and God bless. Well, thank you so much for keeping it KBC Channel 1. And I'm just about to have a sit down with a great woman in this particular country, a true advocate of women's rights, who has championed so much that we have achieved as a country when it comes to the inclusion of women and just making sure that women have a voice and women have a space to within which they can maximize their potential. I'm talking about none other than Miss Rahab Mwekali Mwiu. She's the current national chairperson of the Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization, but it's a position that she has held after having played several pivotal roles, having served as the chairperson of the African Center for Empowerment, Gender and Advocacy. Rehab is also a renowned Kenyan entrepreneur and has been instrumental in empowering Kenyan women economically. She has experience in matters policy advocacy and also community mobilization and engagement, and I can go on and on about her rich profile, but she's with me here tonight just to shed some light on how that journey has been for her and of course the way forward for women inclusion in our country. Thank you for creating time for us tonight. Thank you. Yes, so you sit on a very powerful position as the national chairperson of Maendeleo ya Wanawake, which just marked its 70th anniversary. How does it feel and what major milestones do you celebrate as an institution?
The Kenyan women took Maendeleo seriously, and the journey of 70 years would have not happened without the leadership of the 12 of the chairs who have been there before me. There are times we suffered and maybe we were put under commissions. That was 1995 to about 1990. We lost 5 years. I credit where we sit today to the chair who was Mrs. Jane Kiano and our long-standing patron for about 37 years. She was the chair when this building was happening. And I give a lot of respect as I give the other leaders. And as we look forward to now doing our second Maendeleo House within our 70 years in Mombasa as a gender-based violence center, we will be looking at this building because if it wasn't there, if we didn't have these offices, we would have not continued to be who we are today. So we thank our predecessors. Maendeleo has worked on both socially, politically, and economically. Pretty well we've done in the political pillar, because most of the leaders in this country, starting with our then founder, Mama Phoebe Asiye, who came in 1958, in her words, and that's what we were trying to do this particular time, when they went to see the founding father, they spoke about 50-50. One of the things they did, they went to Kapenguria as women. They carried the wimbi for porridge. They carried mzee flowers. And he was so touched, they carried vegetables. And they argued for 50-50. So this started many years ago. What did we get out of that? We got Priscilla Boa to go to Lancaster. When the Constitution was being made, we got all the affirmative action seats. Most of the girls in Parliament are sisters. Many of them, whether it is by the Mogo, whether it is Charity Ngilo, Mother Kaloa, in our own words, is a daughter of a Maendeleo mother. Many, you can't mention the list. They all came from through Maendeleo systems.
But I'd just like to look at that journey again of 70 years. Must have come with a lot of challenges. What would you cite as one of the most difficult moments you've had as an institution that maybe took you back on the progress you are making to achieve all that you have achieved?
My time has been about 8 years by next month. Had a lot of challenge when I came in. Because when you come with a clear agenda, then there are the people sometimes you've come and with the people out there who want to kill that agenda. I'm sure today you know what my agenda was in this empowerment, and I had a lot of challenges. I was even taken to court. A case we just won this year. For 6 years we were in court. But this is part of it. When the Lord allows you to go through pain, there's something out there, and I think I'm enough of a Christian. I understand a bit of what faith is about. So perseverance is what also was going to help us. So Maendeleo is informed by the fact that even if we have had challenges, we've been very fortunate. There are many NGOs who do not sit in offices like this. We are very lucky. Somebody did the sacrifice, as I said. Somebody made sure these offices are running. So we are not paying rent. So when you sit in these very comfortable offices, as you can see, what do you give back to the society? So then you as the leader, you must ask yourself, what is this missing link? What do I need to do? Then that informed I must thank God that I traveled a lot also, and there are things I've seen out there in the world which I felt, having worked with grassroots women, this is probably the way we need to go. But this is with the board I have, this is with the membership I have, because we devolved Maendeleo from these offices.
There was a season that Maendeleo ya Wanawake got attracted a lot of attention courtesy of the leadership wrangles that it was going through as an institution. Many even went to the extent of asking whether the institution is still alive or is it dead? Is it even there? I mean, how did you deal with these challenges that you're facing? And is Maendeleo still as strong as the maendeleo ya wanawake that it was back then?
I do not think 70 years is a small thing for maendeleo. Leaders come in with their own, with their own agendas, with their own visions. So sometimes, as I said, we went into a commission that was in the 80s. I think it depends on the leaders, and there was a time that you have to be very careful. Am I supporting? To be supported by donors, I must walk this path. To believe in the country and the government, and that is where my time is. I didn't say that we haven't attracted a lot of donor support, but we've been very clear that this is a Kenyan women institution. We have a job to be done with our government. We are like a quasi-government agency. That is where we started, and that is exactly where we are going back. That is a conscious decision I made, because for me to be able to reach all those counties and to know where the issues are, that we are getting girls giving birth at 10 years, and what we need to do, we need to partner with the government. Because we and government are sisters. This is our country, and I didn't believe somebody from out there will come and understand us more than the Kenya government would understand us. So we then developed this issue of working with the Office of the First Lady, and we really thank her. We did the Beyond Zero with her. We did the marathons, and then of course His Excellency the President has been able to support us, including the trips we are doing now. It was courtesy of him supporting us financially. As to when maendeleo had a bigger voice than today, sometimes I think I don't think I want to buy that, because when then it was that loud, what did it do? Which it is not doing today. Because there are people who really want to be in the media, and there are people who want to work in the background, such that by the time I come out, then you can ask me, what have you been doing? Then I'll tell you I've been doing a national water harvesting project. We started in 2019, so leaders are different. So I probably may look like I really want to be in the media, but that's not me.
So what is it that you'd cite as your priority areas, just 3 priority areas as you mark 70 that you haven't done in the last couple of years?
We are looking at the leaders who are going to come into government, that we want to be their partner. We want to look at the leaders, the women reps, the women members of parliament, the deputy president coming in, a woman. What is this we can do for this country? So the other thing is that the boy child is our child. We've started a program with Bishop Ogideon Mayo on positive masculinity. We are going to be carrying it forward. We need to be in this country, and because maendeleo has so many leaders from the ward to the sub-county to the county to where we are, all led from the by secretariat and us here, we need to go out into the counties. And also, I'll be calling on the old teachers to come and help us, even as we call our leaders, because there is a job here in this country to be done of values. We cannot afford to have children in the streets in the 21st century, whether it is Nairobi or in Mombasa. And this is a country with issues of widowed women going through a lot of stress when their husbands are not there. The single mothers, sometimes not by choice. A partner may just die, or you never got married, you have children. It's a family with the women who have also been divorced, and they have families to take care of. So there is a lot maendeleo is going to be dealing with. So our 3 is values, and the next one is going to be values, and number 3 is going to be family.
All right. So I want us to talk about the gender agenda, and just describing what the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution did is what many have cited as a new dawn for women. I don't know what would be your sentiments about the 2/3 gender promise. What is it that it was seeking to fix? And looking at it many years down the line, are we there?
I would want to say this. It will be good to actualize the 2/3. So we are looking forward. We saw many women, I think about 97, have made it as MCAs. Majority of them will be calling on political parties to truly and sincerely be able to nominate women. This is what we are going to be calling. However, we would have expected a lot of support from the donor world in supporting trainings and civic education and all this. Some are lacking, and time is not on our side. So we hope, and we are very happy that Right Honorable former Prime Minister has been able to give us a woman. We feel like just right there, we've gotten a 50-50.
Before we get to that, the 11th Parliament, the 12th Parliament failed to pass the 2/3 gender principle. There was a case by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission seeking to make it to obligate political parties to ensure the 2/3 gender principle is observed in their political party listing, which was quashed again. I mean, where do you think the problem is? Do you think there's a genuine intention to pass this bill, or there could be something else?
I am not very good in dealing with negative issues. I like being positive. What has not happened has not happened. We are here celebrating a woman Chief Justice, right? We are here celebrating a woman Deputy President coming in, right? So all we can do is give it our very best, you media, ourselves, that we now advocate and we continue doing it now as we go into elections and calling on women to be able to elect women by Maendeleo Butaraida, women of integrity, because that is what will form this country. But going forward, we hope that there's going to be a very conscious decision made here around the 2/3, because we shouldn't be where we are, but we don't want to miss the excitement of a woman deputy president also, because that makes us feel 50-50 right now. And once we are on that table, I think the rest is going to follow.
You are part of those who are agitating for this to happen, for the front runners to consider a woman as their running mate. Maybe it would be prudent to ask, why was this important, and how does it make you feel now that at least Martha Karua is on that particular ticket?
I feel great. The day she was nominated, if you go to your clips, you interviewed me down there. I could not even go to KICC. I honestly, because I am a mother and I've given birth, as I waited, I felt that feeling of waiting to get a child. I could not move out of this place. It has been an extremely humbling experience. I don't know, God has done it for us. We cannot leave God Almighty into this. On this desk, we were going to Mount Kenya, was the second celebration. I sat down and I called Honorable Mother Karua, I called Mama Mary Wambui, I called Priscilla Nyokabi, I called Sabina Chege. I invited all of them, Karugo. And Mother calls me on Sunday. I was in my upcountry home. And she says, Rehab, I got your letter and I'm coming. And Mother comes and I just make an announcement. Because we have been feeling as Maendeleo, this lot, we need to talk about it. If my predecessors, Mama Phoebe did it in 1960, surely if God has given us life to be 70 and we are in office today, the most honorable thing to do is to campaign for the truth, as you are telling me, is to talk about the gauge and the issues we are having. It is also to say we are ready for a woman deputy president. I made this announcement, I had like 2,000 women, and I said, we have Mother Karua here, and we are asking Nikasema Baba, my President Kenyatta, if you can consider. I didn't even remember Mother was not Kenya, by the way, because I'm Jubilee. I did an announcement. It was breaking news from all of you, and from that day, we went to Machakos for the Eastern Bloc. We had from Sabit all the way. I invited her. She came as a chief guest. She actually flew in. I saw the response, like 2,000 women. But it is until we went to Eldoret, and I had 14 counties. And the reception I saw in Eldoret, in my own heart of hearts, there was something speaking.
So because we're running out of time for this, I just want to know, in your assessment of how the ground has shifted in the 2022 general election when it comes to the number of women who are coming out to vie for different political seats, what are you reading?
The justification is we have one of us now nominated at the top. If there is anything former Prime Minister has done for the Kenyan women, is to tell us, I see you, I hear you, I have Mama Ida with me, who has also been in the women movement, and I believe in you, and I'll give one of you to come and work with me. That alone has been the game changer. You've seen governors, including Kina Mutula, young people, Kina Kuria, everybody's going for a woman. So what Baba has done, and we must respect that man, and we must give him this vote. What he has done is to say, I confirm that a Kenyan woman is capable. A Kenyan woman can do it, and I have one of you to walk with me this journey. And at this juncture, I want to thank Charity Gilu in a very special way. She has been bigger than herself and this nation. She's been able to step aside and to even support her sister when she was there in it like her. And Charity, my sister, we thank you as we thank Martha.
Those who oppose the 2/3 gender rule would say, you know, women have the 47 slots for women representative reserved for them, so leave these other ones for the men. What is your comment on that?
We fought for 47 slots. I think I was a national vice chair or a provincial chair. And I actually remember we were with Kina Mama Ida, we went to City Hall, and we had a meeting there. And we all moved to Parliament to ask our men members of Parliament to support the 47. And who was in Naivasha? Charity Ngilu, Mother Karua. In Naivasha was Charity and Mother Karua and Kina Mutula Kilonzo. They walked out and they said, you must give us the 47 seats. We got those seats courtesy of those two mothers. And so what am I saying? Those seats were fought for very hard. And what is, if we have a parliament of 400 and something, what is wrong with the 47 seats belonging to women? Men have all the other spaces to go and fight for. And I want it to be on record. Maendeleo believes in family. We have absolutely nothing. Men are our partners. What I think we need to look at when
should they be
after
given
we
more
win,
than just the 47?
Oh yes, absolutely. That's why we want a deputy president, and believe you me, we'll be going for presidency. You know, now we have just started. So yes, they need to be governors. They want to be deputy governors. But can we women of Kenya lead with very high integrity so that the future will judge us very fairly?
As we close this, as part of your parting shot, what do you think needs to be done to achieve a satisfactory representation of women in leadership positions?
We will talk more after elections, but I think I'll be calling on the nation. Where you think you have women who are standing, you know them, please give them the vote. And where also you have men, and we have men friends and some brothers who are standing, please also give them the vote. This country is for all of us. Just like we share homes, let us also share in the governance of the country, Kenya. And we'll be saying this with a lot of humility, and where we miss it, even in these videos, forgive us. We mean well, and we mean well for this country, Kenya. And may the good Lord bless all of us.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Thank you for creating time for us tonight. That is Miss Rahab Muyu, the national chairperson of the Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization, just speaking to us about the journey that the organization has taken 70 years since it was established, and of course the way forward, even as we head to the 2022 general election, what needs to be done to ensure that we achieve women inclusion in leadership. My name is Serfine Achieng Oma. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Every day, we empower our members to grow, to harvest, to deliver. And every day, they're transforming Africa. Equity, Karibu Member.
Kupata kumpenda mtu kama skiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811 *398 hash.
Mapenzi si kumpenda mtu kwa kuwa amekamilika, kwani nawe pia una mapungufu yako. Kwa hivyo mapenzi ni kumpenda mtu na mapungufu yake.
Kupata kumpenda mtu, bonyeza *811 *398 hash. *811 *398 hash.
Wakati unapotunza upendo na utamaduni, ni halisi inakuwa tundo la maisha.
Hello, good people. This is our life, and thank you for your support. As you say, the service to humanity is service to God. Tuzidi kufanya kazi ya Mungu. So far tumeweza kusaidia watu zaidi ya 978. Thank you. Let's continue doing this. And as I told you earlier, that Save a Life hatujagui. Tunatembea Kenya nzima. kufanya kazi ya Mungu. Tunaona Pokot, Turkana, Kiambu, na hii wiki nimetembea eneo la Coast Region, Kilifi County, mahali kunaitwa Kinango constituency, na nimetembelea mzee mmoja anaitwa Mr. Nyamwawi Ngala Lewa, na amekuwa na msichana, amekuwa mgonjwa zaidi ya miezi 8, na mzee ananiambia imekuwa changamoto, na jukuzi niliwapata kama wamelala pale chini, but aliniambia mimi hata sijali kulala chini, mimi sijali kulala njaa, but kilonipea stress ni mtoto wangu, kuwa anapata uchungu sana usiku mchana, but hata hiyo pesa ya ile madawa ya kutoa uchungu, painkillers, siwezi pata. Pesa ya transport kutoka hapa kumpeleka hospitali siwezi pata. Nimekuwa ngumu sana. Hapa chakula imekuwa ngumu. Nilikuwa is about like from Mombasa town mpaka pale ni about 70 kilometers. Na pale ndio napeleka ule mtoto hospitali. Na ikakuwa nikaona wanapitia hali ngumu. Ule mzee kulala unalala chini, chakula ni shida. Na kama Save a Life tukasema tuamua tusimame na huyu mzee Nyamawi ili aweze kupeleka msichana wake hospitali. Tulisema tuangalie tribe, tuangalie religion. Na so hapa kuna Wakristo, kuna Waislamu, kuna Wahindi, kuna all types of tribes. So leo tushikane na huyu mzee, tumsaidie ili aweze kupeleka msichana wake hospitali. Miezi 8 na hawajajua shida ni nini, because wamekosa ile pia pesa ya investigation. So na request tunaweza tumia ile paybill number yetu 600054 600054, account andika Nyamawi, account andika Nyamawi, and God bless you as you purpose to support this man.